Let's be real. If you're sitting around waiting to feel motivated before you start working on your body, your habits, or any big or small change you want to accomplish in your life, you might be waiting a while. The whole "I'll start when I feel ready" thing, yeah, that's a trap. This video is your loving nudge to stop waiting and start moving, because you're so much more capable than you think. I'm Misha. I help ambitious women who won't let midlife changes hold them back feel strong, energized, great in their body, and gain the clarity they need to create a next chapter they truly love. So let's talk about what to do when motivation is missing in action, aka most days, and how you can still take action and get results anyway. I cannot wait to talk later in the video why your self-identity is such a huge piece of taking action, so make sure you stick around for that. Let's start with awareness. Where are you really? Before anything shifts, you need to know where you're starting from. Like, actually, no filters, no sugarcoating. Let's say your goal is to feel more confident in your body. Maybe you want to lose a bit of weight, have more energy, and finally feel good in your clothes. Well, ask yourself, how do I feel in my body right now? Am I feeling it right? Am I moving enough? Am I hiding in oversized jumpers and avoiding mirrors? And if you would like clear guidance how to transform your body, energy, and confidence, check out my Midlife Reset Guide, which will give you practical and actionable steps which you can implement today. It's linked in the video description below. Or maybe it's a relationship goal, right? It can be any goal, really. You want better communication with your partner, let's say, to feel more connected, less snappy, more like team again. So ask, what's the current vibe? Are you feeling unseen, unheard, stuck in the same arguments on loop? What part are you playing in that pattern? This isn't about shaming yourself. It's about clarity, because clarity equals power. You can build a bridge if you don't know where you're starting from. You don't have to have it all figured out. No, you just need to be honest about what's not working and what you actually want. So before you jump into the next diet or buy another self-help book, just pause. Check in. Where are you really? That's your starting point. And from here, everything can change. Okay, now comes the juicy part. Getting crystal clear on what you actually want. And just as importantly, what you don't want. Let's go back to those two examples we just discussed. Maybe you want to feel confident in your body again, right? You want to put on jeans without lying down and breathing in to zip them up or put them on. I mean, I've done that a few times for sure. You want to wear that dress and actually feel good in it, not spending the whole evening adjusting it or, covering yourself up. But don't stop there. Ask yourself, why do I want this? Then ask it again and again. Try 5 times. I want to lose weight. Why? So I can feel good in my clothes. Why? Because when I feel good, I'm more confident. But why? Because when I'm confident, I speak up more, I say yes to things, I stop hiding. Why? Because I want to stop shrinking myself in every possible way and finally live fully. Boom. Now we're getting somewhere, right? Because surface level goals won't get you through the tough days. But deep, emotionally rooted reasons, They'll keep you going when motivation is nowhere to be found. Same goes for your relationship goal. Let's say you want better communication with your partner. That's great. But why? I want us to stop arguing all the time, right? Why? Because I want more peace. Why? Because constant stress is draining me. Why? Because I don't feel emotionally safe or connected. Why? Because I want to feel loved, supported, and like we're a team again. When you do the 5 whys, you stop chasing surface goals and start moving toward what truly matters to you. Also, get just as clear on what you don't want anymore. You don't want to keep criticizing yourself in the mirror. You don't want to avoid intimacy because you don't feel good. You don't want to bottle up your feelings until they explode in a row over the dishwasher. When you know your yes and your no, your aligned future and your non-negotiables, your decisions become easier. That clarity acts like an internal compass. So the next time you're choosing between another late night scroll or an early night, between opening up to your partner or bottling it up again, your future self will have a voice in the room. And she's always rooting for you. When I finally understood my deep why for wanting to lose weight, for example, I always kept coming back to my why. And that really was keeping me going even when I had zero motivation. That got me through the tough days. And if you have also the aim to lose weight, check out my Midlife Reset Guide, which will give you practical and actionable steps which you can implement today on how to shift stubborn weight in midlife. It's also important to understand that you don't need to feel ready. You need to start. This bit is huge. The reason so many people never get anywhere is because they think motivation comes first. Here is the truth. Motivation doesn't come before the action. It comes after. It's a chemical called dopamine, your brain's reward signal. And your brain only gives you that little yay moment after you've done the thing. That is important to understand. So the next time you think, I'm not in the mood, remind yourself that's not a reason why not to do something. That's just your brain being lazy. Action creates momentum, and even a tiny step, 5 minutes of movement, one healthy meal, ticking one thing off your list, builds trust in yourself. That trust becomes confidence, and that confidence becomes motivation. The next big part to understand is that your self-image is running the show. Now, let's talk identity. If deep down you see yourself as someone who always starts strong but gives up, or someone who never sticks to things, guess what? You'll act in ways that match that image. To shift your life, you got to shift your self-image. Start affirming, I'm becoming a woman who follows through. I honor my commitments to myself. I'm someone who takes aligned action. It's not about being perfect, it's about reinforcing a new story and then taking consistent tiny action that prove it true. This was also huge for me, and I realized that I always saw myself as someone who failed at diets and couldn't resist the naughty foods. But once I started to see myself as someone who leads healthy lifestyle and enjoys and opts for healthy foods, everything changed. And keeping up with healthy lifestyle just became part of me, rather than something what I had to force myself to do. The next thing is to look at what's blocking you. And let's be real, sometimes you want to take action, but there is a block. Maybe it's fear of failure. Maybe it's I've tried before and it didn't work. Why should I try again, right? Maybe it's that voice in your head that says, who do you think you are? That's your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is like a director of the film or of your life, quietly calling all the shots. And it loves comfort and familiarity, even when that means keeping you stuck. Start noticing how you talk to yourself. Would you speak to your best mate the way you speak to you? If not, it's time to upgrade that inner dialogue. You don't need to bulldoze your blocks, just become aware of them. Awareness creates space, and space gives you power to choose differently. It's important to understand that your thoughts come first, then your emotions. So, for example, you're thinking about that cheesecake or something sweet to have, then you get excited about it, right? That's your emotions. Then actions, you either have the cheesecake or not, depending what kind of day it is, what your goals are. And if you can create gap awareness between your emotions and actions, then suddenly you're giving yourself a choice on your action. So you either have that cheesecake or not. You're creating the gap. It's also important to create a clear vision and a plan, which can be very simple, because motivation loves direction. So if you want to feel more driven, get super clear on your vision. What does the best version of you look and feel like in 6 months? How does she move? What does her daily routine include? What does she say no to? Let's go back to our goal of shifting weight and gaining more energy. So picture how that will transform your confidence. The way you move, how energized you feel throughout the day, and how that positive change impacts your mindset and life. Then build a simple plan around that vision. A few key daily habits. What foods will you eat? What will you drink? How will you move? Your next steps, and take action today. Not next Monday, not next year, now, right now. Because the longer you wait, the louder that voice of doubt becomes. You don't need to wait for motivation. You need to move. Start where you are. Get clear on your why. Take one step, then another. Build proof. Build trust in yourself. You'll become the version of yourself you've been waiting for. Let me know in the comments what's one small step you're going to take today. No motivation required, right? I'd love to cheer you on and hear from you. And if you would like some help with this, check out my one-on-one coaching or other programs that I offer. And if you're ready to feel your absolute best, check out my next video, 7 foods women in perimenopause should eat to feel their best. Tap here and let's keep your momentum going.